I met a Gypsy.
How many F-150s you reckon they've made?
Oh, it's crazy. So I just went to the plant.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it's crazy. And now I'm going to butcher the numbers, but they were making, I mean, it was a F1, the plant I was in, it was every 53 seconds.
Wow. And it was in America?
In America, in Detroit. I was literally there 3 weeks ago.
No
It was the
way.
first time ever going to one, and I can say it's the most like you can imagine it, but then we can
Scroll down.
I can hear myself talking.
Yeah, go up, Manny. Pause that video. Yeah. That is wild. Every 54 seconds.
Yeah, it was just, and I want to say, I mean, I guess we could do the math, but it was like there were hundreds, and I want to say it was almost 1,000 a day. And it's just
Who's
sitting there.
buying them?
People. Someone's buying them.
Yeah.
Because right now, I just ordered one, and it's gonna take 2 months.
No way.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, it's cranking. It's cool to see. I mean, seeing like the production line in person, like you can imagine it, and you see the videos. I feel like you learn about it. Well, at least in America, like here in school, you learn about Ford and all that. But then seeing it, like, it's crazy. You're walking. There's literally drivetrains. There's an engine with a transmission flying over your head as you're like walking through this thing, and then it drops in, and you watch the guy put the engine into the truck, and it's literally like, and then the next guy goes, and you're like,
It's done.
yeah, like that would have taken me 6 hours. Like,
And it has.
Yeah.
I know this
yeah,
for a
like,
fact.
yeah, like I just to put a lift kit on my truck, I like want to pull my hair out, but it's such an art, and it's pretty impressive. Like
Yeah.
the automation, but then also what's cool, I think Ford is like there's still tons of people. There's not as many robots.
That's
as
what I was
expected.
going to ask. Yeah. How many real people are building Fords right now?
It was really impressive. I don't know what the exact number at that plant was. I want to say it was a couple thousand employees on the shift, and but it was just like I really thought it was going to be all robots when we walked in there, and it was a lot of real American people building trucks, which I thought was pretty cool. Like just employing stuff, and like they were pumped. Like we were walking through, they're excited. Like it was kind of cool, and they had a lot of like stuff to like make them part of the Ford brand, which I think was like kind of a cool, like you could tell they're like passionate about what they're building. They're not just slapping trucks together.
Yeah, that's awesome. So this is the plant here.
Yeah.
Dude, so cool. I mean, Ford is one of the great American companies, and it's one of the great worldwide success stories. Like, if it wasn't for Henry Ford, the world's a very, very, very different place right now.
Yeah. Are we still on horses? No.
Yeah. Literally, dude.
You don't. Yeah. And yeah, it was crazy. Like we went and they did like a Ford archives thing. They took us back in like all these history books, and like they have like all the archives from like, this is Henry's desk from when he was here. And like, it's pretty cool, but seeing what he was doing back then, you're like, it's crazy. And, like the incentives and this vision he had, like he was paying double to come work on the line. And you're like, how's that make sense to like, but he saw this vision, and
yeah.
But they were literally talking about like when they were hiring people back in, I guess whenever they were first building, they would go
the 20s and shit.
Yeah, they would go to your like, so okay, yeah, we'll give you I think it was $5 a day, where the going wage was $2, and they would go and like inspect their house to like make sure you're like a good person. Like, oh, you're taking care of your kids, all this stuff, and we're going to pay you this extra because you're a good, genuine, hard worker, which is kind of, and it built into something crazy.
Yeah, like one of the original American dreams. And it's like the original American dream from a founder, inventor perspective, but then also the original American working class dream. Like America was built on having a real healthy middle class, and it was companies like Ford that legitimately provided that life, because it's all good for it to just be a dream, but you've got to have companies that actually supply that lifestyle to people.
Yeah, and that care, because and can do it for the last 100 years.
Yeah, literally.
You see so many come in, so them out, and yeah, they're super successful, and then all their employees hated them or whatever, where it seems like, yeah, they built that dream, and they've brought kind of a lot of America on a longer ride. So it was impressive to see.
How long were you there for?
Just a day, but it was like 8 a.m. to like 7 p.m. and they took us through. It was really cool. I mean, they were like, come to Detroit, we're going to show you some stuff. And it was crazy. And just to learn about the history and then also see what they're currently building. And so
I wonder if, with everything that's going on with like the tariffs and all this stuff, like, does it really kickstart Detroit back up? Like, does it really force people to start doing more? Because you see videos of Detroit in like the 40s and 50s and 60s, and it's just pumping. And now it's almost a wasteland.
Yeah, there's so many. There's a lot of abandoned buildings.
Could you see it? Like, when you were there?
Yeah, you're driving through like kind of these things, and a lot of it's pretty. It's been sitting abandoned for years. Like one of the buildings we went toward that Ford is like refurbishing just as like a charity thing. Like, but they're like, yeah, this hasn't been booming since, whatever, the 20s or whatever, but it's been abandoned. So I don't know what I think is, if does Trump hold off, and like if he really holds off, I think they'll start thinking about how do we bring it back. But Ford's already like doing a ton of their.
Yeah, they've never left Detroit fully.
No, but then, a lot of their suppliers are out of the country and stuff. So they're getting parts. They're all getting affected by that. But
yeah.
But a lot of the other manufacturers are building in Mexico or overseas and stuff. So
it had to be pretty sick to sign with Ford. Like, that is one of the coolest things that I think in your world, and like, dude, even my world, like, I got an F-150 as soon as I moved. Yeah,
like,
that's
for me,
that's the dream, bro.
For me, I grew up in like a Ford family. So like,
sick.
It was like, that part was cool. It was super like natural. Like, it was like, oh, dude. And with the Raptor now too, for our world, like having a Raptor, it's your life. Like, I mean, it's kind of a statement, which in Utah, it seems like everyone has Raptors. So now it's a little bit now, but I do. Yeah. Signing with Ford for me was like one of those, I have to like check myself. Yeah. Like kind of look back and be like, dude, I just went to Detroit and like got this VIP experience with Ford, which, who would have thought? Like, I would have never.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.